All right, we back. Mercy Sports Talk. We're doing a season preview for our Week 4 opponent. That is the Arizona Cardinals. It's felt like Arizona is a divisional opponent. We've played them so many times throughout the years. But let's get into what the Arizona Cardinals have done since we played them last year, how they changed, and basically, you know, how the game kind of goes stack up personnel-wise. Make sure you check out the Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All those links in the description. Twitter is the fastest way to get in touch with me. So you can just look at what they've done in general in free agency first. They added Trayvon Collie from the Colts. They added Devondre Campbell from the Falcons, linebacker. They added Jordan Phillips from the Buffalo Bills, D lineman, interior lineman, I believe. And they added Devin Kennard, which we released him. Wondering how that's going to work out for them because he was trash. But he's going to be looking to make his mark. And also they traded their running back, David Johnson, and I think a draft compensation maybe to the Houston Texans for DeAndre Hopkins. So they also done that. They also re-signed Kevin Peterson, cornerback, kicker, Zane Gonzalez, tackle, Justin Murray, also tackle Marcus Gilbert. They bring back, they got the transitional tag on Kendrick Drake, DJ Foster, running back, safety Charles Washington, guard Max Garcia, Jonathan Bullard, D tackle, Chris Banjo, safety, Brett Huntley, cornerback, tackle DJ Humphreys, and also they bring back the Wiley veteran, Larry Fitzgerald. So it ain't really a lot of upgrades they done here, not as far as names, maybe in fits. I think Jordan Phillips is the biggest name they bring in free agency wise, and also DeAndre Hopkins is the biggest name they bring in, and Hopkins changes everything because you gotta pay attention wherever he is. He slide, he can go deep, he can run intermediate routes, he can run short routes. The only thing you really don't worry about DeAndre Hopkins with is, yak a lot. He can get yak, but you're not worried about him, taking the 5-yard slant route or hitch and going to the crib. But he reminds you of a younger version of Larry Fitzgerald, underrated athletically, great hands, great route running, great separation, you know what I'm saying? And Kyler Murray's going to have another great target. And he still got Larry Fitzgerald. Last year he made a good catch on the Lions when we went into the prevent defense. But really, that's all you worry about. They didn't do too much, but the team is already young. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't have to go out there and make a huge splash. Adding Jordan Phillips is going to be key to the middle of the defense. Also, they still got Chandler Jones. They still got Patrick Peterson, which he wasn't there last year when we played them. So I think they building it right, they building it slow, and they're making the right moves. Not sure if they're gonna win that division or make the playoffs this year. And I kind of share my concerns with that. Let's move on to the draft and what they done. And they got a guy that a lot of Lions fans wanted this year, and that was Isaiah Simmons. And I think they'll figure out a great way to use him. He's one of those utility players. You don't really see athletes come out to draft. You see athletes come out of high school into college and they mold them. And Isaiah Simmons is a defensive athlete. He can play anywhere. He can put his hand in the dirt. He can play linebacker. He can play joker. He can play safety. He can play, outside, inside linebacker. He could play cornerback, nickelback. 4.39 speed at his size is pretty much unheard of. So it'd be interesting to see where they utilize his talent set. But then, basically they didn't have a second round pick. They took Josh Jones, offensive tackle out of Houston. They need a lot of offensive line help, especially with Kyler Murray. Then they take in the 4th round Leaky Futa, defensive tackle out of Utah, And in the 4th round they go back to Houston, take Rashard Lawrence, defensive tackle, They got the pick from Houston. They take Rashard Lawrence, defensive tackle from LSU. I liked him for the Lions as well too. And then they take Evan Weaver in the 6th round from California. That pick came from the Patriots. In the 7th round, they took Eno Benjamin, running back out of Arizona State. So, obviously what sticks out to you is that Isaiah Simmons, but also how they trying to build their interior line with, 2 defensive tackles, an offensive tackle. So that's pretty much where they had to get better at. When you have a shorter quarterback, you have to keep the pocket clean. You got to keep those big fellas from getting in, them big uglies getting in on them. So they seem like they're building their team the right way, and it's not going to be an instant success unless, some things happen, and I explain how can they be really, really dangerous in a minute. And then you just go look at their depth chart overall. They got a lot of talent on this squad, but I think scheme is what's going to hold them back offensively, and I explain that. They bring Huntley back. He had some issues with his wife this offseason. Good to see they get that cleared up. Obviously, Murray is their starter. Chase Edmonds is their backup running back. I liked him a lot last year in this offense. Kenyon Drake, he flourished in this offense. Some people in Detroit Lions country wanted him if he hit the free agent mark. He didn't. Also, they got Larry Fitzgerald, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kurtz. They have some dangerous receivers. Kurtz can take it to church. Andy Isabel out the slot. He's going to be a real problem. They also got Akeem Butler. I think he went to Arizona State, if my memory serves me correct. And yes, you know what I'm saying? He was a 4th pick last year, 4th round pick, and I liked him. Big, tall, physical guy, 6'5", 227. Let's see if he can soak up some of that DeAndre Hopkins knowledge and Larry Fitzgerald knowledge. And then they got the tight end for another year out of the draft, Max Williams. So you should be looking for him to take another step. They got DJ Humphries at left tackle, Justin Pugh at left guard, Mason Cole at center, J.R. Sweezy at right guard, and Josh Jones at right tackle. And I think it's some work to do across that offensive line a little bit. And that's kind of where you can really get after them at. But they play with a pace and, in a no-huddle offense and that air raid offense. And that might be a little bit difficult for some defenses to figure out last year. This year it'll be a little different. This year they got Zach Allen at left defensive end, Corey Peters at right defensive end, Jordan Phillips at nose tackle. They run the 43. Chandler Jones on the outside, Kennard on the other outside linebacker. And inside they got Jordan Hicks, and they're going to play Isaiah Simmons in the interior linebacker position for right now. And then you got Patrick Peterson, who tried to get out of there last year, Byron Murphy at the cornerbacks, Jalen Thompson, Buda Baker, who I liked a lot coming out the draft, at the other free safety position. And then they got Deontay Thompson back there. They also have Robert Alford. He kind of a veteran back there as well, too. So they got some really good people back there. And, special teams-wise, they brought back Zane Gonzalez, their kicker, Andy Lee, the punter. He's going to be the holder. Christian Kirk going to be punt returner. Andy Isabel, I think he was out of, UMass. He is very, very fast. Kick returner, and then long snapper Aaron Brewer. So one thing I noticed about this team is, will the NFL catch up to the air raid offense, which they don't have that many plays in the air raid offense. And it happened to Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly was out there and he had, his little offense, and the NFL caught up to it and he never made the adjustments. Can they coach make those adjustments? Forget his name, but can he make those adjustments? That's the question. He was at Texas Tech. He was at he's supposed to go to USC, and then he ended up getting this job, which a lot of people didn't think he was qualified for. But he did a hell of a job last year, especially versus us. They persevered. We should have smashed them, and we just didn't step on the pedal week 1 last year. And when we didn't step on the pedal, they end up, coming back, and they got a draw or a tie. And Cliff Kingsbury is his name, excuse me. But yeah, I like what they were going last year. But the true question for them this year is will they be able to make the adjustments? I feel that they need to go under center a little bit more and run the ball. They get in there, run the ball, shotgun, throwing short passes to the running backs. I don't think that's going to get the job done. Eventually you got to get under center and play power football, 4th and short, 3rd and short, and then ice the game. And that's the issue for me right there. They got a lot of weapons, Max Williams, Hopkins, Fitzgerald, Andy Isabel, Christian Kirk, Akeem Butler. They got dudes ready to take Larry Fitzgerald's spot. And the issue for them is they got to be able to play smash mouth football at some point. And can the NFL and the Detroit Lions catch up to this offense? In my opinion, I think don't rule out a second-year slump for Kyler Murray this year like Baker Mayfield, because I don't think Cliff Kingsbury is smart enough to make those adjustments. That offense is only going to last so long in the NFL, and you guys are probably going to see it this year or next year if he doesn't make the proper adjustments. Now, defensively wise, I like what they're doing over there. Buda Baker, Patrick Peterson, I think it's time for them to move on and cash out on him, though. Chandler Jones was one of the best, last year at getting pressure on the quarterback. And they coming along, but I still think they're a few players short of being the defense they want to be. But they may develop some really good guys, bringing Isaiah Simmons in and, bringing Devin Kennard in. So they kind of going where they need to be at. They offense put up a lot of points. The defense is formidable enough to kind of hold the fort just enough. But I like what they do in Arizona. They're not trying to force it and trying to build a super team expeditiously or too quickly. They just doing enough. they doing more than enough to kind of stay on time and stay on code on, being one of the better teams in the NFC West. They know they're not going to be the best team this year unless some injuries happen or COVID hit. But you know what? Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo ain't that good, and they kind of fall off. And maybe the Seahawks stupid enough, and they've been rumored to try to trade Russell Wilson, to Chicago, or try to trade him for Baker Mayfield pick that year in the draft. Maybe they don't want to pay him, and they show that they don't want to pay people. They trade him and things trade. So they right on point. Another year or two, they probably could be the Kings of the NFC South. All right, I really think they could be the Kings. I'm in the NFC West, but I just have my concerns about offensively. Some of the issues they're going to have making adjustments. They got to get out there and they got to run the ball a lot more. And if they continue to let Kyler Murray drop back in that air raid defense is going to pick up this year. Now, how do they stack up versus us? Last year we played them good. I think they're a different animal this year. I just think they're going to be more confident this year. We get opportunity to see the offense this year as well, too. Last year, nobody has seen the offense. They hid their hand in preseason to Cliff Kingsbury, admitted that was a mistake. And they got off to a tough start, but they had a really strong finish. But, our defense just plays right into their hands. You know what I'm saying? Being passive, not sending pressure. Kyler Murray able to buy time with his feet. His arm is electric. If Matt Patricia doesn't change his defense and they go out there and they man up this year and they don't do a lot of help behind, or they don't do help in the front by sending pressure, then Fitzgerald is, if Fitzgerald's still what he was last year off the slot, and DeAndre Hopkins out there and Christian Kirk's out there and Max Williams take a step in, Andy Isabel get out there, the Lions could be in trouble facing this team. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the offense don't get on that horse there and really put some points up. And I think the offense should put some points up this year. The 3 pass catches are familiar. They got some really, really good offensive linemen they brought in this year. Should buy Stafford some more time. So, to me, this should be a victory. But going to Arizona is never easy at 4:25 p.m. our time. And that's like 1 p.m. their time. So, they're a tough matchup because they bring Fitzgerald. He working out the slide. Hopkins, he doing his thing. Christian Kirk can take it to church. And Kendrick Drake out the backfield catching the ball is a problem. So, if we play that same prevent, bend, don't break defense, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble, in my opinion, man. So, they're a good team. But if it's a team that we lose to, unless they just take a colossal step forward this year, and we lose to them and we struggle, or we lose to Green Bay and Chicago, I would say, early on in the season, we probably going to have a tough season. So our first 3 games are going to be very, very interesting, because if we don't beat those 3 teams or be competitive or beat 2 of those 3 teams, we're going to have problems with, New Orleans and Atlanta and teams of that nature down the stretch. So, in my opinion, man, this game is vital. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we start off 2-0 and we lose to them, then people going to say, oh, the Lions start off 2-0, but they lost to the sorry Cardinals and they ain't real. But the Cardinals got an opportunity to do some great things in the NFC. But Kyler Murray, he the one. But only thing that can hurt Kyler Murray is a second-year slump in the offensive coordinator and the head coach's creation of his offense, and not motherfucking taking it, excuse my language, to another level. If he don't put in more pro-style things in that offense, he going to hurt Kyler Murray. He going to hurt chances Larry Fitzgerald trying to win something. He has to put in more under-center things and just can't run out the shotgun like that. You're not going to win like that. You know what I'm saying? They be having leads and they still be in the shotgun, running out the shotgun. He has to implement more pro-style things. And if he don't, I think Arizona's going to have a long season or have a long tenure with him. I don't expect him to be here that long if he doesn't make the proper adjustments. But overall, they got a solid football team. If we lose to them, I know a lot of people going to be, all the Lions are overrated. They suck, this, that, and the third, or they not that good. But that's a swing game, especially if the Lions start off 1-1 or 0-2, and they lose to Arizona. Then you probably going to hear Patricia, they calling for his job. But then again, this team can turn it around. It wouldn't shock me if they won the West, you know what I'm saying, or competed for the NFC West. So, they did some great things this offseason. They're not forcing it. They just making the proper move as it comes. And I think Kyler Murray, if he take that step and Kingsbury make those adjustments, don't be surprised if this offense don't go, and put up a lot of points. But my issue is they need to do more under the center things. And if they don't, I really wouldn't fear this team long term with Cliff Kingsbury as his head coach. But hey, let me know what you think about the Arizona Cardinals, our Week 3 opponent. We're going to continue to move it on. Hopefully we have this series done by Week 1, if we have Week 1. But seem like all is going well so far with the corona test. They're testing every day. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, response, video request. Also Instagram, but I'm really on there. So Facebook, Twitter, link in the description. Want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. Check the Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more of the season preview. Other than that, just keep sharing it. And don't forget to check my other channel out. Good.